Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, Browns fans. I've got some pretty exciting updates for you. And trust me, this story is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing developments of the season so far. We've been searching for that franchise quarterback for what feels like forever, right? Since the days of Bernie Kosar, we've been hoping, dreaming, and sometimes praying for someone to finally step up and give us that consistency we crave at the position. Well, this season, it looked like Deshaun Watson was going to be that guy, the answer to our prayers. But things haven't gone quite as planned, and that's where it gets interesting. Because the Browns, as we all know, aren't strangers to adversity, and this season has thrown quite a few curveballs our way. Last year, Deshaun was our opening week starter, and let's be honest, expectations were sky high. The hope was that he'd finally bring that elite quarterback play that can elevate this entire franchise. But then, disaster struck. Early in his return, Watson suffered an Achilles injury, which ended his season prematurely. That was a huge blow not only for him personally, but for the team's hopes of making a deep playoff run. We all know how important a stable, dynamic quarterback is in today's NFL, especially when you're trying to build a team that can compete with the best. So with Watson sidelined, the Browns had to scramble, leaning on a veteran who's no stranger to making comebacks himself, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, a guy who's been around the block, won Comeback Player of the Year with the Ravens a couple of seasons ago, stepped in to start Week 1. But let's be real, Browns fans. It was clear from the start that Flacco's best days are behind him. He just couldn't get the offense moving the way we'd hoped. His experience is undeniable, but at this stage of his career, he's more of a bridge quarterback, someone to keep the seat warm until the real deal can develop. Unfortunately, Flacco struggled to establish rhythm, and that led to him being benched in favor of rookie Dillon Gabriel. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, here we go again, another rookie quarterback thrown into the fire. And honestly, Dillon Gabriel has had his ups and downs, just like most young guys trying to find their footing in the NFL. When he took over, he showed flashes of potential, but consistency was elusive, and he struggled to look like a true starting caliber quarterback. That's a common story with young signal callers. They go through their growing pains, and the key is whether they can learn and improve quickly. But here's where it gets interesting. Our head coach, Kevin Stefanski, has been unwavering in his support of Gabriel. He's been a big believer in letting the young QB develop at his own pace, trusting that with proper coaching and time, Gabriel can grow into the leader this team needs. Stefanski's words have been clear. "We're going to stick with Dillon," he said earlier in the season, even after some struggles. That kind of patience is rare in today's NFL, where teams often pull the plug at the first sign of adversity. Kevin Stefanski's approach shows he's committed to building something long-term, and he sees something in Gabriel that could turn into a real asset for Cleveland. That said, football's a brutal game. Just when you think you've got everything figured out, a concussion sidelines Gabriel in the game against the Baltimore Ravens. And that's when things got even more interesting. In his place, the Browns turned to another rookie, Shedeur Sanders, the son of NFL legend Deion Sanders. Shedeur didn't exactly set the league on fire in his first start. He was okay, not spectacular, but he did enough to keep the Browns competitive. His leadership and composure in that moment really caught the coaching staff's attention. And let's be honest, Browns fans, it's not every day you see a rookie step up and perform well under pressure, especially in his first real NFL action. What was most striking about Sanders' performance was how he led the Browns to a victory against the Raiders. He was calm, decisive, and showed poise beyond his years. That's no small feat for a rookie quarterback stepping into a tough situation. And it's that moment, that game-winning drive, that has started to shift the narrative around Cleveland's quarterback situation. Because, as we all know, the Browns have been searching for stability at the position for decades. But now, with Shedeur impressing everyone, it's causing a real debate. Could he be the future? Is he the guy who can finally bring the consistency and leadership we've been craving? Stefanski, who initially leaned on Gabriel, has started to change his tune. Reports suggest that the coaching staff is quite impressed with Sanders' poise and decision-making. The question now is whether Shedeur keeps the starting role for the rest of the season, or if the Browns will go back to Gabriel once he's healthy. It's a fascinating situation because it's rare to see a rookie make such an immediate impact, and Browns fans, you know how much we love a story of young players rising to the occasion. It's a testament to the talent that's coming up through the ranks, and it really puts the spotlight on the team's quarterback development going forward. And let's not forget, Kevin Stefanski's job as head coach is heavily scrutinized, especially when it comes to developing young quarterbacks. Over the past few years, he's shown a lot of patience and resilience, sticking with guys even when things aren't perfect. His trust in Gabriel earlier this season demonstrated that. But now, with Sanders making waves, Stefanski and the front office will have some tough decisions ahead. Do they continue to develop Gabriel, or do they give Sanders the keys to the offense for good? That's the million-dollar question, and Browns fans, I know, will be glued to every game, every drive, waiting to see how this unfolds. What makes this situation even more exciting is how it reflects the broader picture of the Browns' quest to build a winning team. We've had our share of heartbreak and what-if moments over the years. But this season, there's a sense that something different is happening. The team's defense remains strong, with stars like Myles Garrett leading the charge, and the offensive line has been pretty solid, giving the quarterback some much-needed protection. But the real story is on offense, where young quarterbacks are trying to find their groove and prove they belong. As Browns fans, we've seen enough seasons of inconsistent play and coaching changes to know that patience is a virtue, though sometimes it's tough to swallow. What's promising now is that the coaching staff, especially Kevin Stefanski, is showing faith in youth development. That's a good sign that the Browns are committed to building from the ground up, focusing on nurturing talent rather than quick fixes. The emergence of Sanders as a potential starter adds a new layer of excitement, giving us hope that maybe, just maybe, we're witnessing the start of something special at the quarterback position. Looking ahead, the rest of this season will be critical. Will Shedeur Sanders continue to impress and secure the starting role? How will Gabriel respond once he's fully healthy? These questions aren't just idle speculations. They're at the core of Browns fans' hopes and dreams for a winning future. If Sanders keeps playing like he did against the Raiders, it's going to be impossible for Stefanski and the front office to ignore his momentum. And honestly, Browns fans, that's what we've been waiting for. A young quarterback who can be more than just a placeholder. Someone who can lead us to victory and maybe, just maybe, help us finally bring a Super Bowl trophy home. This situation also speaks volumes about the direction the Browns are headed. We're seeing a team that's willing to take risks, to trust young talent, and to develop players rather than rushing to make a splash with veteran free agents or quick fixes. That's the kind of strategy that can pay off in the long run, especially if Sanders continues to develop and grows into the leader we all hope he can be. It's an exciting time to be a Browns fan, no doubt. We've faced setbacks and frustrations, but moments like these remind us that hope is alive in Cleveland. That's what makes this season so compelling, the possibility of finally finding that quarterback of the future, and maybe, just maybe, witnessing the start of a new chapter filled with promise and potential. As we look to the future, one thing is clear. The Browns are in a pivotal moment. The decisions made in the coming weeks about who will lead this team at quarterback could define the next decade. Whether it's Gabriel's resilience and experience or Sanders' raw talent and poise under pressure, Browns fans will be watching closely, cheering loudly and dreaming big. The road to another Super Bowl might be long and winding, but with young stars emerging and a coaching staff that believes in patience and development, it's a journey worth taking. And I, for one, am confident that Cleveland's best days are still ahead. We've got the talent, the grit, and the passion. All that's left is to see how the story unfolds, and I know you're just as eager as I am to see this chapter written in the most exciting way possible. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.